A comprehensive look at trends, fund profiles, and more in Exploring ETFs.
We're going to take a look at the dollar now in relation to ETFs with our ETF research director, Nina Mishra, who's been tracking the dollar here for a lot of different reasons over the past 5-6 months or so. I remember we talked about the dollar in relation to currency hedged ETFs not long ago, but the dollar is still on a tear.
Yes, in fact, the dollar did not do so well, rather flattish. It was rather flattish earlier this year, but of late the dollar has been soaring, and particularly after the election, dollar has just surged.
Really shot up, yeah.
Yeah, it's because of hopes of high fiscal spending resulting in higher growth and higher interest rates in the US. And some of the recent economic reports have also really bolstered.
Not so bad, yeah.
Yeah, they have really boosted the case for a Fed rate hike at their December meeting and maybe some more rate hikes next year. And in fact, the probability of a December rate hike as indicated by the Fed fund futures is more than 93% as of now.
Yeah, and the talking Fed heads that are out there, they seem to be talking up rate hikes going forward also. So
yeah, they are prepping the market for a rising rate environment. And in fact, the dollar index touched a 14-year high against a basket of major currencies last year. And also, US companies hold about $2.5 trillion in cash overseas. And on the campaign trail, Trump had promised a one-time repatriation tax cut to bring back that cash.
Money back on shore.
Yes, and we don't exactly know how much of that cash is in US dollar and how much in other currencies, but considering the amount is so big, even if a part of that held in foreign currencies is converted into dollars and repatriated to the US, it could really send the dollar much higher from here.
Yeah, well, in the meantime, you've got two examples of two different ETFs that investors should take a look at if they want to try to benefit from all of this.
Yeah, if investors try to bet on the currency, then there are two ETFs which they could use. The first one is by PowerShares. The ticker is UUP, and it basically tracks the movement of the US dollar against 6 major world currencies. So it goes long the dollar and short those 6 currencies, the euro, the yen, the British pound, Swedish krona, Swiss franc, and the Canadian dollar. It uses futures for going long and shorting those currencies.
I see.
Not cheap, charges an expense ratio of 75 basis point, but has $860 million in assets under management. It's pretty popular with investors. And it is structured as a commodity pool, so investors should be aware of some tax consequences if they hold this particular fund.
And futures markets can move quicker.
Yes, obviously, but with both these ETFs, investors should remember that these are not
buy and hold.
Investment future market and currency markets. They can be volatile, they are difficult to predict, so they should be used only for short-term hedging or trading purpose. So the
second one is by Wisdom Tree?
Yes. It's an actively managed fund. The ticker is USDU. It is more diversified in the way that it goes long the dollar against a basket of 10 other major currencies. And those 10 currencies are also from the emerging markets. So it uses developed market currencies as well as emerging market currencies.
I see.
It uses forward contracts, unlike the first one which uses futures. This one mostly uses forward contracts. It is slightly cheaper with 50 basis points in expenses, but it has not been so popular with investors. It has $230 million in assets so far, but it was launched much after the first one.
And now you're going to compare the two.
Yes, so on this chart, I have tracked about 3 years' performance of these two ETFs. 3 years because the second one, USDU, the one by Wisdom Tree, that launched in December 2013. So from that period, I've tracked the performance. And as you can see, both have done almost the same over, if you look at this 3-year period. UUP is up about 21% and USDU is up about 20% during this period.
All right, do you own either of these?
No, I do not.
All right, well, thank you for that information. Keep your eye on that dollar. And don't forget, you can keep your eye on other ETF information on our website, Zacks.com. Just go to the home page, use the Funds tab in the top toolbar, and get to that section of the website that way. With Nina, I'm Terry Ruffalo.